In the last video, I spent the night in the camper by Coniston Water, which I went down for some sunrise photography. Didn't turn out how I wanted, but it didn't really matter. Then I visited the Lightland Motor Museum, and then I watched the steam train at the Lakeside and Hathaway Railway, and then I enjoyed a tour around Dot Park Bobby Mill, and then I visited Greyjoy over the Sands seafront on the way to Blackpool for the Illuminations, which is where you join me in this video. Right, I've arrived at Blackpool. As you can see, we're on the parade. I'm basically past the South Pier and I was heading like south in a sense, but my idea was to turn around and do like a time lapse. That was going to be the idea, but literally northbound the traffic is absolutely standstill, and I've just been able to find a space on the front here. It's free after 8 p.m, so and it was 7 o'clock, so I put in an hour to get me past that, and it says I can leave at 10 o'clock in the morning, so I could stop there in theory, but I don't know about and everything. But what we're going to do, and this may be the stupidest thing for me because I have overdone me, but I'm going to walk a lot of this to see and then see if the traffic dies down. But yeah, this is going to be fun. But the tram does come, doesn't it? So there we go. Anyway, so we're going to have a wander. Throughout this video, some of the music will actually be muted and replaced with a different audio track, basically just to stop me getting any copyright strikes by the YouTube gods. Well, I did say if I come to Blackpool I'll get fish and chips. I don't fancy fish and chips, but I've just got myself some chips. So I'm just sitting on the side, just eating those. Oh, there we go. Those chips weren't too bad. I'm near enough by, I think, the centre pier. I can never remember up here. But yeah, so like I say, we're getting by the tower and everything else and going a bit further up. And then, like I say, I'm going to get the tram back. The one thing I still can't believe is how stationary the traffic still is at this time. Because I mean, it's 8:30 at the moment, and I know I used to, when I was a kid, come up with me dad. He used to drive, and me mum and my brother, and then when my daughter was younger with the ex, we used to come up, and even with my brother and his kids, and drive up and just drive down, and then, you know, have a wander around Blackpool, drive down the lights, and then end up back home. I mean, I'm not one for arcades, but we'll just have a quick wander in the Pirates Bay Fun Fair on the pier. I mean, with any main seaside town, it's the amusements, isn't it? I mean, like I say, I've just had a quick wander through. I mean, for me, the only thing I used to play on is like the 2p machines and stuff like that, just to pass the time away, because like I say, I'm not a gambler, you know, and everything else. But, you know, again, it's family fun, isn't it, and stuff like that. I think when you get to a certain age, it's not the same, is it? I mean, it's nice you've got the lights over the road and that, and just the ones on the lamppost, but then you've just got like an installation like this. It's like all pulsating, it's like an alien type of thing. It's really weird and nice. I mean, there's ambient music as you walk through and stuff like that, and it's changing colour. I mean, when I was in there, it was blue. Now you've got multiples of colours. Really nice, that is. I hope you can hear me over the music and I don't get done for copyright. It reminds me of being in a bloody nightclub when I was younger with the smoke and everything else. You could just spend, I mean, I've just spent like 5 minutes, 10 minutes just watching that. You can see, look at it. Opposite the tower, you've got the local radio station. It seems to be playing tunes. You really wanted to get up and dance. And there's a projection going on. I mean, as I come across, they was playing Ghostbusters and you got animated different things and everything else. And then it was logo for the radio station. So I don't know if there's other things, because he said there was other animations, but I'm carrying on walking. But it's interesting to see those kind of things. I mean, first of all, I mean, the last time I came to the Illuminations was about 3 years ago. I think it's just after I had the camper. Me and the ex came up and we'd come around the town and then for the lights, we basically just drove down. And again, it was packed like it has been today. And really, I didn't get to enjoy it kind of thing. She tried to video, but it didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, like I say, it's nice to be able to see those other things, because if I would have drove, I wouldn't have seen those other things. So yeah, we're carrying on a little bit further. I don't know how much further it goes. I've got to the North Pier. I'm sure there was stuff going further up the last time, like stuff on the side and everything, but I'm not too sure. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to go back, but I may not get the tram. I may walk back. According to Google Maps, it does say 45 minutes. So even with my pace, which even along the time, then it gives me more chance of going down and seeing the lights and probably do a time lapse that way, because I wanted to stop over by Fleetwood, which is that way. So I'll be driving past this way and then I can put these in the passenger seat and do it through the window then. So yeah, we'll carry on this way anyway. I mean, that bit behind me again, I've just been standing there again, just watching it again. Again, it reminds me of going clubbing and everything else. I mean, where I used to work years and years ago, we used to do, I think we did about 2 like work dues. There's only about 5 of us at the time, and up here and basically just get drunk and have a good time, you know, on the company payroll. But yeah, that's when I used to drink and I used to party and I could used to dance, which everybody says I could never dance, but there we go anyway. And again, I mean, coming to Blackpool, there's so many pubs, clubs, bits and pieces, you know, because that's where it's famous for stag do's and everything else. I mean, now my drinking days are over, unfortunately, due to medication more than anything. So anyway, we're going to carry on. Right, that has absolutely done me in. I've took a lot of medication to get me here. But at the end of the day, it was really enjoyable still coming back and watching the extra bit on the tower, as well as the other bit that I said was lovely. You know, it's just nice. So what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to drive further down and then back, so that we get a good view of it all anyway. But yeah, I'm knackered, I'm hurting, and then I've got to find somewhere to park as well. Worst case scenario is I end up back where I am, because it's quiet down this end and the ticket's valid until 10 o'clock tomorrow and no one's going to know I'm in the back. There's so many other cars and there's a few campers down here as well. So let's get on anyway and let's show you properly as a time lapse. Right, I've got to the car park where I wanted to, which is in Fleetwood. Basically, it's on the corner, and the idea of that is because if there's any colour in the sky in the morning, you know me, I like my sunrise photography, that corner then is facing, like I can see, east into like Morecambe Bay kind of thing, and then there may be colour, so I don't know. But yeah, I am absolutely shattered. But there was more down that way that I thought, which was like the board ones and the fairy tale things and the spooky house and things like that. So yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, like I say, I have pushed my body to the limit and then some, but I've, like I say, really enjoyed walking down through Blackpool and that. I don't really like Blackpool, I don't like touristy places that much, but I did really enjoy that. It was nice seeing the lights and I mean the families and everything else. I mean, it is all for kids and families and stuff like that, but it's been well worth it anyway. So anyway, I'm gonna sign off for now, and then I will see you in the morning because it is past midnight and I've been up, like I say, since 5ish, so I am shattered. And then like I've got to get up for sunrise at about 7, so I've got to go up about 6, so I'm going to get about 5 odd hours sleep. But you know, I probably won't sleep anyway because I'm in a lot of pain. But yeah, anyway, so I'll see you in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning. I'm not too great this morning. I had the rubbishest night's sleep. Well, I didn't sleep that much at all. Just in a lot of pain, which I knew I was going to be. But what I've done is I've just come to the beach. It's only about 20, 30 metres from the car, if that. But it's after sunrise at the moment. You wouldn't be able to tell me sunrise is behind you there. But I mean, it's completely overcast and everything else. Like I say, I didn't want to do too much this morning. And in a way, I'm kind of glad. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Yeah, we're just going to have a quick wander. Well, I'm heading back to the camper now. And the one thing I've been doing, because I didn't want to do too much and photography has been a complete and utter bust, I've been picking up shells. I know that's a sad thing to do, but it's just been, yeah, there's some interesting shells. I want to do some pictures with shells now. Yes, I've got shells at home and you can buy them in the shops and everything else. There's nothing like picking your own anyway. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Bit sad really, but who cares? I've been back at the camper about half an hour or so, just having a coffee. I mean, where I am, it is actually a free car park, and into the main town of Fleetwood, it's around about a mile. So I could walk along the seafront and admire the views, even though the weather's rubbish. And I mean, the photography-wise is going to be like non-existent today. But it may be worth doing that. Or I'm going to drive down because there are car parks. Those ones are paid, or there may be, you know, I've looked on Street View, there's some disabled spaces. So I don't know, because like I say, my back is absolutely caning. But then if I take a leisurely walk, you know, at the end of the day, I can stop, I can start. It doesn't really make any difference. Yeah, little thing is when I got back to the camper, I sat in the boot like this, just having my coffee, and the car started to lurch backwards, like forwards. And yeah, I realised I hadn't put the handbrake on when I got here last night. So yeah, the car, I mean, luckily the car park is flat, and I always keep the car in gear. It's one thing I've always taught. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is, I'm not too sure. I may walk along the front and into the town, or I may just drive down there and see at the end of the day. I did drive further down, it made it easier because yeah, my body's not going to let me do that much. But yeah, I'm literally mainly in the centre. Basically, if you look at Fleetwood, the map goes around like that, and I'm like in the corner here. So I'm just parked over there. I've just come and I've bought a sandwich like from yesterday, so I'm going to have that for breakfast and just look out to the sea, or Morecambe Bay, isn't it? I can't remember, but yeah, just looking out that way. Behind me here, you've got the lighthouse, which was completed in 1840. I don't know if it's still in use. I don't think it is, because most lighthouses now aren't, are they? Because you've got GPS and everything. And then you've got by the side, I think that may be like the boat rescue, whatever it is, RNLI or something like that. An unusual little building. Behind me here, you've got 4 different launch vehicles for the Marine and Coast Guard Agency. Again, don't know directly what they're for, whether they're for rescue or anything else, but it looks really cool, that does. Behind me here, you've got another lighthouse. This is the Pharos Lighthouse, and it was lit in 1840. And it literally, from here, you can see the other one straight down a street here as well. I mean, I've just come into the main town centre. I'm just going to have a look around the shops, just see if there's anything interesting, really. Well, that's it for the main high street. I've walked down and back up again. There is a little retail park just down there, which you can park there. I like going into charity shops. What the stupid thing is, I bought a little metal Christmas tree. You know, I've had to carry this all the way along. You know, stupid me, isn't it? But I like charity shops and car boots and stuff like that anyway. So basically we're heading to the market now and then the museum. That's the market. I mean, again, it's whatever you're looking for. I mean, I'm not one for retail therapy, as they say, or whatever. You know, there's nothing really in there that I'd actually want. But again, it's nice to see, like I say, that markets are alive, because in certain towns, markets are literally dead. There's a few stores. I mean, that is literally packed. There isn't one empty space in there, with everything, like I say, from clothes to sweets. There's a cafe, you've got toilets in there, you've got memorabilia, all different things, toys, everything in there. So again, it is well worth, you know, if you come into Fleetwood, go in there, because like I say, it's just a bit further down from the high street, mainly just on the front is just in front of me here. So yeah, and then the museum is just round the corner here, and the reason we did it this way is because the museum wasn't open for when I got here, so we're heading to the museum now. The Fleetwood Museum details the history of actually Fleetwood. I'll give you the breakdown of what it says on the Wikipedia entry. It says Fleetwood was acquired its modern character in the 1830s when principal landowner Pete Heskell Fleetwood, High Sheriff and MP, conceived an ambitious plan to redevelop the town to make it a busy seaport and railway spur. He commissioned Victorian architect Decimus Burton, I'm rubbish at pronouncing names, aren't I? To design a number of substantial civic buildings, including 2 lighthouses, the Fleetwood Transport Terminus. Though that's failed to materialise, this town expanded greatly in the first half of the 20th century with growth in the fishing industry and a passenger ferry to the Isle of Man to become a deep fishing port. Unfortunately, it's declined in the 1960s. As well, one of the most famous things Fleetwood is known for is the birthplace of Fisherman's Friends. Now, I don't actually like those. I absolutely hate those things, but a lot of people do. So there's that as well. You also get shown around outside. There is a building with an old ship in there, wooden ship, and it's all the history of it. And I mean, the museum actually picked it up. It was used as in a playground, and so that's the state that they actually got it in now. There is another one as well, that if they can get the space and the funding to have another building to restore that, well, to keep that one there as well. Well, actually, that was really interesting in there anyway. Well, now I'm back off to the camper and then have a coffee, and then basically I think it's off from there. So I'll just have a wander back to the camper now anyway. It's a leisurely walk for me anyway. Yeah. I mean, this break in the Lake District, I mean, it was an extra day than I wanted to be, but it's been absolutely great, enjoyable and everything else. Yes, I've been in a lot of pain, I've struggled, I've took more medication than I should do, I've had restless nights, but that's not a fault of the camper, that is just a fault of me. And like I say, it's been absolutely brilliant. And then like ending up at Blackpool last night and walking down those lights and everything, it was absolutely great. I really did enjoy it. The one thing that I would recommend is, if you can and you want to experience the lights by driving down, come later, because it was like after 11 o'clock when I did that time lapse driving down, and it was quiet, whereas like 7-8 o'clock it was just absolutely packed. More than that, I've enjoyed it. And even today, just walking around Fleetwood now, again, you know, Blackpool, you've got more your touristy things, your family things, and you've got the tower, you've got everything there. This is just more just like a relaxing like coastal town. You've got the beach and everything. But again, I've enjoyed wandering around like the museum, the market, and just around the town on the beach. And it's been a great end to what has been a nice trip in a way. But like I say, I'm just knackered. Again, if you've just come across the channel and you've just seen this one, I'll put a playlist to all of them. Make sure you subscribe, you know, as well, because there's going to be more trips like this. More mine is photography, and the idea was to come away for the autumn colours. It was okay, but not brilliant. But again, I just haven't had the weather conditions, but that's just the way it is if you're doing landscape. But then I've made up for it with doing other things. And like I always say, I don't do these trips for YouTube, I don't do them for the photography. I do these trips for me, and I'm just bringing a camera and a video camera along just to share it. As well, with this trip, it proves you don't need a big camper. Like I say, for me, this has been perfect. It has just been me on this trip. I mean, the next one, that may be a little bit different. Like I say, it's been great just having this small space and be able to sleep. I've had no problems with the park-ups. They've been absolutely great. Like I say, I'm not saying that that'll be all the same. I mean, sometimes it is just best to just have a look around and things like that. Talk about that in another video on how to find places. But again, they have locked down stopping over with camper vans, especially in the Lake District. Around here it's not too bad. I mean, literally coming from Blackpool towards Fleetwood, there was camper vans galore, and literally in Fleetwood here as well, there's camper vans. I mean, literally opposite me here there's one as well, and in the car park where I was, there was another camper van. Well, there was actually 2 camper vans in there. So it's always best just to find the right location. And like I say, I've had no problems with cooking and everything else. Okay, food-wise, I haven't been the most healthiest this week. It has just been like junk food in a way. It was just for me, it's just quick and easy. Yeah, I think that's it. Right, I've got to get up. Ow. Ow. Right, slight change of plan. Basically, I'd done all a bit to camera to say goodbye, everything else, end of trip. I'd wanted to film another little bit behind the scenes of how I actually film these videos anyway, so I'd done that here, and by that point it was like 3 o'clock and I'm knackered and everything else, and I thought, well, I'll see if there was any colours for sunset, because it was setting over there. Well, as you can see, there isn't any, and there wasn't any. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to head back towards Blackpool to those bits of the lights where I didn't really see properly, past the North Pier going more north in Bentham, is it, or something like that. So then I'm going to go down there, film all that, get out of the car, walk down that little bit, and then I may pull over again tonight and have somewhere to stop here, or I may drive back, I'm not too sure, or then it may drive back in the early hours, because I am absolutely shattered. It's took me a while. I was going to come out properly for sunset, but a Mercedes Vito pulled up next to me, and the lady said, "Oh, is that a micro camper?" And I went, "Yes," and we've just been having a really nice chat for like the past hour, but they've just recently converted theirs, and it's the first time a wild camping, in a sense, you know, more than on a campsite. So I was just chatting to them, showing them my camper and everything else, and it's great to meet other people with campers and that, because we're not too sure on this front here where I am. There's a few camper vans, but it's saying it's £5, but that seems to be down there overnight, but we're not too sure anyway. But I'm not going to be stopping here, either going to stop more towards Blackpool or even the same place that I did last night. Again, I don't know how I feel or whatever. So we're going to get in the car and see where it takes us again. I've pulled up in one of the side streets by the side of all of this lot, so I'm going to walk down and have a look at all these, because you forget about these because it's past the North Pier. Most people probably forget about these. I have, and that's why I've now come this way, because it's on the way back anyway. I've got to kind of come through this way to get back on the M6 anyway. So yeah, I've just got to cross in a minute the tram line to get up that way, but it doesn't matter because we walk down to the bottom and then all the way up. Well, there you go. I mean, that was better than driving past those, because I couldn't really record those because it was out the window. Hey, that's interesting to walk along. Like I said, it reminds me of Blackpool Illuminations. And again, you know, it's nice to come out to these kind of things, especially as a family. I mean, just, 50-odd-year-old bloke admiring lights, you know. Yeah, but I'm one of these ones that do up my house for Christmas with lots of lights, so not as many as these, but yeah, it's a bit of fun really, isn't it? So what I'm going to do now is, because I'm halfway down, is going to go back to the camper now, move on. Whether I stop over somewhere, I don't know, or whether I drive back, I'm not too sure. So you'll find out in a minute. In the end, I did actually drive back straight through, because like I say, it was only 2 odd hours. It was going to be a lot easier than trying to stop off somewhere, get the camper ready, get the curtains closed, get the bed out, bed in, and just getting settled down. It was just going to be a lot easier. I mean, I was in a lot of pain driving back. But like I said before, I did really enjoy that trip. I mean, it did make me bad for a little bit longer afterwards and that, but that's the way it is anyway. I mean, at the moment, I'm recording this the day that this video is going out, and in about 2 weeks' time, I'm actually in hospital for like like an operation to hopefully ease the pain a little bit. So I may be able to do a little bit more, but there are still videos coming up because I have recorded a few that are still going to come out and that, but the next camper videos will be out soon as well. I'm doing a few camper tips. I'm doing some photography at home. There's a lot of videos coming up as well. If you've seen the last one, because I do fish clean out fish ponds when I try to. I'm doing fish pond tips. So again, the channel's going to be all over the place. It's going to be all different things on this channel. If you do want to see the complete time lapse of the light, because I've had to shorten it and speed it up a lot for in this video, I'm going to put the whole time lapses of the lights on my second channel, so links in the description for that. So anyway, thank you for watching, and again, like I say, I hope you've enjoyed. So I'll see you in the next one. So bye for now. Bye. Off it out now, scooter. Chips are empty. Not easy. Now, bye. Oh shit, I've got to move. And you've got like a dance floor and everything there. I don't know who that was. I am absolutely shattered. Okay, that was noisy. Into the main town and just on the front. Is there anything else I want to tell you? I don't know now. I knew there's going to be something.